This is the truth, the hard truth no one tells you after divorce or job loss. Most people think the hardest part of divorce or job loss is the event itself. It's not. The hardest part is what happens after. And almost nobody prepares you for that part. When the papers are signed, when the HR call ends, when the LinkedIn announcement goes live, when the house gets quiet. Because here's the hard truth. After divorce or job loss, you're not just grieving a person or a paycheck. You're grieving an identity. And if you don't understand that, you will try to fix the wrong problem. Today, I'm going to break down the 5 hard truths no one tells you after a major life disruption and what to do instead if you want clarity fast, not motivation, not endless therapy loops, not take your time advice, clarity. Let's start with truth number 1. You are not emotional. You are disoriented. Anybody can function when life is stable. But when structure collapses, your brain goes into threat mode. There's actual neuroscience behind this. Your brain loves predictability. When predictability disappears, it treats it like danger, which means you don't feel sad, you feel unsafe. That's different. After divorce or job loss, women often say, I don't feel like myself. Exactly, because the role that organized your days, your decisions, your social identity is gone. It's like Google Maps just shut off while you're driving. And most people make their first mistake here. They try to make permanent decisions while disoriented. They quit again, move cities, start businesses impulsively, delete their entire digital presence, just jump into new relationships, overcorrect their personality. It feels bold. It's unstable. Emotional regulation isn't suppression. It's stabilization. The first thing you need after disruption is not healing. It's orientation. Practical move, create a 7-day containment window. No big decisions. No dramatic exits. No irreversible moves. Just stabilize your body and schedule. Wake up window, 1 real meal, 1 walk, 1 must-do task, 1 shutdown ritual. That's it. When your nervous system stabilizes, clarity follows. But most people skip this, which leads to truth number 2. Your self-worth was over-leveraged in that role. Here's something uncomfortable. For many high-performing women, your marriage or your job wasn't just part of your life. It was your proof. Proof you were chosen. Proof you were competent. Proof you were valuable. And when it ends, it feels like your value ended too. But that's a category error. A role ending does not equal value disappearing. It equals context shifting. There's a difference. Think about a CEO who leaves one company and builds another. Did their capability vanish? No. The container changed. After disruption, your brain tries to collapse identity into outcome. If it ended, it must not be enough. That is not analysis. That is shock talking. Practical move, separate role from traits. Write this down. What traits made me successful there? Not what position you held. Traits. Leadership, precision, empathy, execution, resilience, systems thinking, conflict navigation. Those traits didn't get divorced. They didn't get fired. They're still in you. And until you consciously separate traits from titles, you will feel smaller than you actually are, which leads to truth number 3. You don't need reinvention yet. You need recalibration. Pop culture sells reinvention like it's a makeover montage. New hair, new city, new wardrobe, new personality. Very eat, pray, love. But here's the problem. If you reinvent from pain, you build from instability. After collapse, your brain wants distance from the old identity. But what you actually need is clarity about what to keep, because not everything in that chapter was wrong. Some of it was working. Recalibration asks what stays, what upgrades, what exits. This is where the C in my framework, clarity, comes in. Clarity is not a feeling, it's a decision filter. The practical move: ask 3 questions. What worked that I abandoned too quickly? What drained me but I tolerated? What did I know was misaligned but ignored? This prevents you from overcorrecting. Most people don't fail after disruption because they're weak. They fail because they swing too far. Which leads to truth number 4. Your brain is in concussion mode. This is the one nobody talks about. After divorce or job loss, you are functioning but not clear. Your brain is processing loss, reputation shifts, financial recalculation, social recalibration. Cognitive bandwidth drops, which is why simple tasks feel heavy. You're not lazy, you're overloaded. And this is when people start shaming themselves. I should be over this by now. Based on what timeline? Whose metric? In concussion mode, your job is not optimization, it's reduction. Reduce decisions, conversations, exposure, digital noise. Increase sleep, hydration, silence, structured thinking. If you treat a concussion like a marathon training season, you will prolong recovery, which leads to the final truth. No one is coming to rebuild you. This one is hard. Friends support, family sympathizes, therapists listen, but no one can reconstruct your identity for you. Ownership is the turning point. You didn't cause everything that happened, but you're responsible for what happens next. And responsibility is power. When you shift from why did this happen to me to who do I choose to be now, everything changes. Ownership is not blame, it's agency. Practical move: define a temporary identity, not forever, for 90 days. For example, for the next 90 days, I'm a woman rebuilding structural clarity. Or for the next 90 days, I'm someone strengthening my financial and emotional independence. Temporary identities create direction without pressure. And direction reduces anxiety. Now, here's the part most people miss. You don't need confidence first. You need structure first. Confidence is a byproduct of execution. Execution requires containment. Containment requires ownership. Ownership requires clarity. That's the sequence, not the other way around. After disruption, stabilize. Separate traits from roles. Recalibrate instead of reinvent. Reduce cognitive load. Assume ownership. If you skip steps, you prolong confusion. And if you do them in order, clarity accelerates. I rebuilt my comeback framework for this exact window. Not when your ear's out. Not when everything is already polished. But in that fragile middle stage where you look fine on the outside, but your internal GPS is buffering. If this video resonated, you're not broken. You're organizing. And that is a very different story. If you want the full orientation container, it's linked below. And in the next video, I'll break down the fastest way to rebuild confidence after your identity shifts. Because confidence is not a personality trait. It's a byproduct of aligned action. I'll see you there.